Why are Jet fans so upset? Why are New York Jet fans upset and angry? The Jets just beat the Chicago Bears 31-10. And not all, a lot, though, too many New York Jet fans are angry right now. They're infuriated. They're pissed off, telling their wives and their girlfriends or their friends or their husbands or their kids, stay away from me. I don't want to talk right now. Why? What's going on? Well, what happens is you have a situation, and it's at the quarterback position. You have a situation where you have the second overall pick from last year's draft, Zach Wilson, who captivated and caught the hearts of about half the New York Jets fan base. Then you have the other side of the fan base. Now, there's some in between, but that's like probably the 5 to 10% rule. Okay, think of it as right wing, left wing, right? Most people are to the right or the left, and there's that few in between. But for the most part, there's everybody else on the other side that was angry. We should have kept Sam Darnold and traded the pick down, or we should have taken Justin Fields, somebody else that they preferred. Then you have that contingency. Zach struggles his first year, shows some progression, but doesn't answer the question. So the sides start to, and the bitterness and the tension starts to build. Is Zach Wilson the guy, or is he not the guy? And then what happens? Zach Wilson is again, he's the winning, and he does some good things, but then he's not doing so good, and then and they can't decide. And half the fan base, yes on Zach, no on Zach. It's going back and forth. Then the New England game happens, and all hell breaks loose, right? Because now Zach not only messes up on the field, he messes up to the media. So now Zach loses over half of the people that were on his side leave. So now you're talking about maybe 15% of the fan base still supporting Zach and 85% not supporting Zach. Now, here's my problem with all of this. Every fan should support Zach in the sense of wanting him to succeed. Every fan. And every fan should want Mike White to succeed. Let's have a problem where both quarterbacks are stars. What a great problem that would be, wouldn't it? But no, Jet fans are angry and upset. They're mad. There are Jet fans that are angry that Mike White played well today. They're mad. It's not fair, they're screaming, that people are giving credit to Mike White. How could they do that? He was playing against the Bears. Zach would have put up 400, even though he never has in his career. He put up 300 once in a loss to New England. But at the same time, Mike White didn't look good against Buffalo last year. And yes, this was a depleted Bears team that he beat. But why does any of this matter? Why aren't we just happy that we won the game? It doesn't mean we have to sit there and say, oh, we're a Super Bowl team. No, we can acknowledge that the Bears weren't very good. We can also acknowledge that we were 2-14 in 2020 and that we were 4-13 last year. And the fact that we could now beat a bad team is a good thing. We've moved up in the world. Now we're a team that gets to beat bad teams and say, well, we only won because it was a bad team. Fine. Remember when we were the bad team? Remember when we were the team that when people beat us, people said, don't get too happy about it. It was just the Jets. It's one step at a time. Maybe we're not a Super Bowl team yet, but hell, we're a team that beats bad teams. You know what that might mean? That we're not a bad team. Maybe we're not a Super Bowl team, but we're not a bad team. And isn't that growth? So even the most pessimistic of fans that want to take away from this win, is it not growth? Is it not growth to now be a team that beats bad teams? Hell, we even show up and beat a good team once in a while, right? In only the second year of the regime. But let's go back to the quarterback position. Look, you got to be out of your mind if you didn't want Zach to succeed. We used the number 2 overall pick on him. Even if you hated the pick and you were the biggest Justin Fields fan or you wanted Sam Darnold to stay, you still got to say, I hope he does well because you're a Jets fan, right? And it's good to be wrong. Like if Zach would have been a superstar like Patrick Mahomes right from the start, wouldn't that have been a good thing? And then you say, well, I'm glad I was wrong. And if Zach stinks, you don't be happy that you were right. You say, darn it, I wish they would have listened to me. I wish I was the GM or could have had the GM's ear. But you don't celebrate it. It hurt me when Zach was benched because I believe in Zach Wilson. But at the same time, I understood it. Because I want to win. And I knew that Zach Wilson wasn't getting the job done. So Mike White came in, and I cheered for him. Not because I don't like Zach. Not because I'm a traitor. Because I'm a Jets fan. And then Mike White, it's not his fault who they played. He did everything we could have asked for him to do. He did it. Yay! You're supposed to celebrate that, not be angry about it. What happens is going to happen in spite of what we think. If Mike White's going to be the quarterback for the rest of the year and play well, that's going to happen or not happen. It doesn't matter what we say. It's going to either happen or we're going to find out by watching. That's all we do is we watch. We're fans. We watch. We don't impact. We don't affect. We don't change. So what we have to do is, even if you're unhappy or not comfortable with the decisions the staff makes, when the game starts and it's kickoff, why are we divided? Why are we not all just celebrating? By the middle of the fourth quarter, we had somebody in a watch party on GreenBean's channel saying, that's what you get with Mike White because we didn't score on a drive. And he goes, are you not entertained, Zach haters? Right away, he was picking a fight. We're on the same team. We're the fans of the same team. We're supposed to be rooting for the Jets to win. That's what we want, to win, don't we? Don't we want to win? So look, if the coaching staff announced that Zach Wilson was starting next week, I'd be very confused. I'd say, how is that possible? And it might bother me. But I wouldn't go into the game hoping he fails so I can say, I told you so. No, I'm going to root for him. Now, do I expect that? Of course not. I'd be shocked. Of course we expect Mike White to play next week. Of course. He just had 149 quarterback rating. Of course we expect him to play. It'd be nuts for them to not play him. Right? Am I crazy? We have to play him. And we're going to root for him because we're Jet fans and we really want to beat Minnesota, don't we? It's a big game. If we win that game, we're playoff bound, baby. So we want that game. And it doesn't mean that part of us can't be sad about Zach Wilson because maybe we liked him and we were his fan. And it doesn't mean that his story is over. Because even if we root for Mike White, maybe he'll stink up the place. And maybe Zach Wilson will come back in. And maybe he'll play great. But the fans should have one thing in common. Whoever's playing, we root for. Just root. Root. R-O-O-T. That's what you do when you're a fan. You root. Get out of your heads. Stop fighting with each other. Stop the hate. We got New England fans, Miami fans, Buffalo fans. They're laughing at us. It's our time. It's our time to be winners. Root for us to win, whoever plays quarterback. Stop fighting over it. That's all I got to say. If you like this content, hit the bald guy right here. That's me. You subscribe if you like the content. And you can hit and watch another video right over here. And definitely like the video and do all those nice things to support me. I really appreciate it. Go Jets.